Former NFL player mocks conspiracy allegedly working against Shedeur Sanders. One former NFL player used sarcasm to refute a conspiracy theory that revolves around Shedeur Sanders. Sanders struggled mightily Saturday in the Browns' preseason finale against the Los Angeles Rams at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. The rookie quarterback went 3 for 6 for 14 yards during his time on the field. He also got sacked 5 times. It got so bad that Sanders was pulled for what ended up being Cleveland's game-winning drive. Some Shedeur supporters have floated the conspiracy theory that the Browns are purposely making Sanders look bad to justify cutting him later on. According to the bizarre notion being spread online, Browns offensive linemen are being instructed to block worse on purpose when Sanders is on the field. Retired NFL offensive lineman Jeff Schwartz responded to one fan peddling the theory. Schwartz tried to illustrate just how absurd such a theory sounded to someone who's actually been in the trenches at an NFL level. "I remember being a young offensive lineman fighting for a job," Schwartz wrote. "My OL coach came up to me and said, 'Hey Schwartz, you need to block worse when Smith is playing quarterback, so he looks bad.' Totally normal conspiracy that happens all the time." Another former NFL offensive lineman, George Foster, got in on the gag as well, jokingly calling such practices the standard practice among NFL rosters. Schwartz chalked it all up to poor O-line play from backups rather than any elaborate scheme to tarnish Sanders' reputation. The Browns' rookie QB also tends to hold onto the ball for far too long when he'd be better served throwing it away. It's been a knock against him since his college days, and the bad habit has evidently followed him to the NFL. They called it a conspiracy, like football was a shadow play and not a game taped from 17 angles. They said unseen hands were keeping Shedeur Sanders down. League bigwigs in smoky rooms, refs with secret group chats, broadcasters wielding silence like a weapon. Every missed throw became a message. Every late hit became a plot point. The internet stitched the thread together and announced a grand design. Then a former NFL player picked up his phone and laughed. Not cruelly, more like a man chuckling at a magic trick he learned how to do years ago. He went live from the driver's seat of a car with fast food wrappers on the passenger floor and a playbook's worth of honesty in his voice. "Y'all really think a cabal got time to hate on a rookie?" he grinned. "Brother, the only conspiracy in this league is the clock. It gets all of us." The comments raced by, receipts, theories, slow-motion clips where a safety's shoulder looked like the elbow of the Illuminati. He scrolled, kept smiling. "Look," he said, "I've seen politics. I've seen a coach's favorite and a GM's project. I've seen a ref miss a call so bad even his flag was embarrassed. But a league-wide plot to dim one dude? Nah. The NFL is 32 ships trying not to sink. Ain't nobody drilling holes in somebody else's boat just to watch them flail. We all trying to make harbor." He wasn't mocking Shedeur, not really. He was mocking the way a story grows antlers online. Because the kid could play. You could see it in the way his shoulders squared up after chaos, the way his eyes found the second window. But the game is a fistful of physics and probabilities, and sometimes it chews even the brightest marble. "Conspiracies," the vet said, "are just ways to make pain feel organized." He told a memory like a parable. His third year, early December, a road game where the wind bit through the stitching of his jersey. He ran a perfect post, and the ball still died 6 inches short. The film later showed a guard whiffing a chip, a quarterback who couldn't set his feet, and a gust of air that didn't care about either of them. "If we did Twitter like y'all do now," he shrugged, "there'd have been a chart and a villain. Instead, there was practice on Wednesday. The conspiracy people said the league wanted different faces, different markets." The vet snorted. "The league wants eyeballs. You know what brings eyeballs? Ballers. If Shedeur cooks, ratings cook. There ain't a meeting room in America where a suit says, 'Hey, you know that charismatic QB with a famous dad and a fan base? Let's sabotage him.' That's not a conspiracy. That's bad business." He talked about timing, the real tyrant. "NFL windows are rude. They open and close while you blinking. You miss 2, people say you rattled. You hit 2, they call it poise. Same man. Same day. Different side of a hair." In the margins of his laughter was something like care. He knew the danger of the other story, the one where you start believing shadowy forces dictate your fate. "Once you give your power to ghosts," he said, "you stop doing the boring heroic stuff. Feet. Eyes. Breath. Huddle. That's the spellbook. The rest is superstition." A caller asked about the late hits, the uncalled holds, the push after the whistle that felt personal. His smile thinned. Every team swears the refs got it out for them. Every fan base could make a documentary. I've been on both ends, getting away with murder and getting penalized for a rumor. You want justice? Put it on tape so loud it overrides everything. Officials hear confidence, defenses hear doubt. Tape's the only testimony that counts. He leaned back, let the steering wheel creak. Here's the secret you don't want but need. There isn't a backstage. It's all stage. The chaos is the room. You find your voice or you don't. Meanwhile, the rumor mill kept grinding. Photos with red circles, timelines with arrows, a sideline exchange freeze-framed into proof of malice. The vet shook his head, an older brother who'd seen people trade their hunger for theories. I get it, he said. It's comforting to think there's a master plan against you. Means your struggle ain't random. But randomness is the opponent you actually play. A tipped ball. A shoelace. A gust of unlucky. He pivoted to Shedeur the person, not the symbol. What I like about the kid, he's got a magnet in his chest that points north. You can see it, the way teammates lean in, the way the pocket doesn't scare him so much as irritate him. That's quarterback stuff. And quarterback stuff gets better with boredom. Not with hashtags. A pause. A softer tone. You want to help him? Stop inventing dragons and let him fight the ones we got film on. He told one last story, the kind that sneaks wisdom into your pocket. Veteran minicamp, sun punching through June air. He'd stayed late with a rookie QB who kept sailing the deep out. 10 throws, 12-15. All of them flirting with the sideline reporter's notebook. Finally, the vet moved the kid's back foot 2 inches. There, he said. Now throw it. The ball cut the air like honesty. No mysticism. No curse broken. Just geometry finding its manners. That, he said into the camera, is the opposite of conspiracy. That's craft. It chews superstition and spits out completion percentage. By then the comments had slowed. Maybe people were tired, or maybe the gravity of the ordinary had tugged at them. He smiled once more, the edges of his mouth tired and kind. Let the boy play. Let the coaches coach. Let the tape be the judge. And if the universe is really conspiring against him,